Guys, I am just eating dinner and getting IVs, but I wanted to post, thankfully, my last hospital update because I am going home tomorrow. Today is day 11, so I'm ready to go home. There's been some good and some bad, and we're going to talk about it all because sometimes this channel is just less of a organized video and me rambling my thoughts. So if you don't want to watch that, that's fine. You can click off. I'm not going to be offended, but so I'm very excited to go home tomorrow. I'm very excited to get back to Tux. I have been missing Tux so bad. Like, it's crazy. A dog that I've only had for 7 months has buried into my heart so deep that just not being with her for 11 days is so weird. And especially because she's a service dog. You know, it's not like our other dog where, you know, I'm used to leaving him at the house. She goes everywhere with me. She went to North Carolina with me. So, like, it's really weird. So I'm very excited to get back to Tux. I had shrimp delivered today that are just still chilling in their shipping bag because my dad doesn't know how to acclimate, so I need to acclimate them tomorrow. I'm excited to get back to things I can't speak about on here because they're Christmas presents, but excited to get back to those. So really, you know, excited to see my plants, see how much my cantaloupe has grown, just excited to get back to a normal routine, to get some sleep, for crying out loud. But as so excited as I am to get out of here, there's a part of me that's also been thinking a lot because back in April, when I went into the hospital, we had that whole discussion the day before I left about how, you know, Trikafta is taking me as far as it can go. You know, we're seeing a decline. We're seeing more hospital stays. We're seeing more symptomatic stuff. So that's when we decided, you know, let's try and put a stop to this and switch to Alyftrek. So last time I left the hospital, I had a lot on my mind. And I switched to Alyftrek, I think, like 3 days after I got home. And it was a very horrible 2 weeks, but then I felt so much better. I had my energy back. I was gaining weight. That's one thing I'm very thankful of. I've gained 10 pounds since I started Alyftrek. So I was gaining weight. I was not coughing. I had no more congestion. I felt like I did when I started Trikafta, where it was just CF was background noise. Once again, my blood sugar was a pain in the butt, but CF was easy to take care of. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because it's like the time of day where the sunlight comes in and I just love it. Anyway, so I had this hope inside of me that we found the thing. My Trikafta had done its job. It had gotten me to a point to where I was alive to take Alyftrek. And now we were on to the bigger and better things, and things were going to get back to how they used to be. For like 3.5 months, that was correct. Every day was better. My last clinic before all this, back in June, I was like, wow, I feel so good. My mental health is better. My, you know, everything is just better. And it was just a really good clinic. And then my PFTs were actually lower, which was weird. But everything else was really good. So we're like, you know what? This is great. Everything. I love Alyftrek. And then at the beginning of July, I started feeling it again. That same old something's trying to start up, but I was like, I'm going to North Carolina. We've been planning this for a while. So, you know, then we got back from North Carolina. It seemed to get a little bit better. I think just once I was back in Florida, sea level. But then it started up again, and then I was like, well, I have a Disney trip, so I'm not, you know, I know that, like, these things aren't as important as health, but I also knew that I wasn't, like, actively dying or anything, and I could wait. So I went to Disney, and the day I came back from Disney, the next day I went to go get checked out because I already pretty much knew what the answer was going to be, that they were going to admit me. And the hard part is that I keep thinking that this admission, like January, April, this admission is the hardest admission I've had in a while. And each one just keeps getting worse. Like, this was the first admission where I actually needed oxygen for a little bit. This is the first admission where I still don't feel baseline. My PFTs are better. My energy is slightly better, but I still don't have an appetite. I still get tired easily. I still cough. I still feel congested. And that's kind of the unfortunate reality that I don't try to think about a lot, but I do in these situations, is CF is a progressive disease. I have been super blessed with stability for 6.5 years. Just an amazing gift. And you get into this comfort zone where you're like, stability is forever, and it's not. And so I guess what I've been thinking about is, while PFT-wise, I am stable, symptomatically, it's not what I hoped for. It's not what I hoped Alyftrek would do. Obviously, my current background situation. And just the fact that this is my third hospital stay this year already. I haven't had 3 hospital stays this close together since like 2014, 2015, like over a decade ago. I haven't had symptomatically waking up coughing for a couple of years. And so, like, as much as I try not to think about it, I try to put it out of my mind, I try to just think, stability's forever. Somebody came in. I'm glad that I figured out this pause feature. But anyway, basically what I was saying is, as much as I like to think stability is forever, it's not. It's just not. So, you know, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And that's the unfair thing, too. Like, I do all my treatments. I do all my pills. I do the exercise. You know, I walk the dog every morning. I rest when I need to. I do everything that I am supposed to do within my power. And sometimes it's just still not enough. And lately, it hasn't been enough, you know, to stay out of the hospital. I haven't been out of the hospital for 5 months this entire year. Like, because I got out, like, into February, or, like, very end of January. So then February, March, April, early April, I was right back in. And then I got out, and then we started Left Track. And then May, June, end of July, right back in. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm used to hospitals because I grew up in them, but yeah. So we're hoping this doesn't happen again. You know, it's scary. Just to be blunt, it's scary to watch stability in some sense, but symptomatic decline in another. Especially when we have done everything we can do now. You know, we switched to a Left Track. That was the one thing we hadn't done or hadn't tried. And it's not enough. So hopefully the rest of the year will go better. We're about to enter my favorite part of the year, the Burr months. I'm that quintessential person that is counting down to pumpkin spice and spooky season and Christmas and all the things that I absolutely love this time of year. I'm just like, August can go away, right? Like, I just love this time of year. So, you know, that makes me happy. And I have projects that I can't talk about again because they're Christmas presents that make me happy. And all my new shrimp that arrived. But hopefully things will smooth out. Hopefully things will get better. But I'll admit that, you know, today I've just been thinking and just been a little scared. So anyway, I'm going to get back to my dinner. Tomorrow I get to eat actual, like, you know, not hospital food. And then after dinner, I'm going to go back to playing Nancy Drew, because that is my way to distract myself, is basically just by, you know, playing Nancy Drew. Because that's, ever since I was little, Nancy Drew has been, whether it's the books or the games or the TV show, it's always been a calming presence for me. So that's what I do. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you guys, you know, health is a gift. So I hope you guys are healthy. And we'll keep on keeping on.